Aiken, South Carolina, a small city for seniors looking to retire and home to the biannual steeplechase. In this city, the elderly and the youth population seem to grow larger each year, and despite the interesting value Aiken has to offer for everyone, most values are catered to middle and high-class income white families. This has left an unfortunate impact upon the youth in low-income neighborhoods. Due to lack of resources, they have been led to limited options. As an effort to display the many possibilities that our young peers can have, we decided to conduct several interviews addressing those who are actively making a difference in our community. First, we asked local community leaders what they portrayed to be concerning for the future of the youth and the ongoing trend of violence within our community.
One of my concerns for the future is the lack of communication among the younger generation. I feel like when we have a problem, we don't know how to, talk it out, but instead we turn to violence, and I think that that's just really not the way to solve problems.
And police are investigating the death of a USC Aiken student. 20-year-old Jeremiah Duncan was pronounced dead of a gunshot wound this morning. His death is being called a homicide.
A USC Aiken student finally feels like they have justice and some closure after a guilty plea from the man responsible for his murder.
I would like to see our community become more involved in helping solve cases. We trust in the justice system to resolve and bring justice for our son.
There has been a few young lives lost due to gun violence in the community of Aiken, South Carolina. The deaths of these young individuals hit so close to home because they were young with ambition and purpose, and their lives were taken away due to gun violence. Here are a couple of adult youth advocates who were affected and have seen gun violence in the community of Aiken, and they work to not only make a change, but guide young individuals to be the change.
It hits at home. I think about real people. I see real faces as far as violence in the community. I see people in prison. And I see people that is no longer here, so it's definitely personal, and that's just from a human perspective. But from a teacher's perspective, I taught 3 years for the South Carolina Department of Juvenile Justice, and I have students that's no longer here due to violence in the community.
To say that it truly grieves my heart to see so much violence happening in our community. It's tough for me as a mom, and then also as an advocate for youth in the community, to see so many young people, and not just young people, but also those who are older, who are making decisions to hurt each other and also impact the community in such a negative way. So even though it grieves my heart, I know that there is some systemic issues that we need to deal with in order for us to deal with this violence and how we can curb this trend that we're seeing in the Aiken community.
We met with the Hankinson Boxing Gym, who expressed their concerns for gun violence in the community and how they are aiming to change the narrative for the youth.
Well, the organization is called Hankinson Boxing Gym, Gloves Up, Guns Down. And one of the main reasons we created this program is to allow kids to put the guns down and put the gloves up. And not only boxing, we wanted that outlet to come and teach them about Jesus as well. I came up with the slogan, Gloves Up, Guns Down, because I just got tired of the gang violence that was going on in Aiken at the time. I had a couple friends who had got killed, and I seen a couple kids walk around with guns hanging out their pockets. So I just had to think of some kind of way to make something catchy to get the kids to come. so that way they'll be able to put the gloves down, put the guns down, pick the gloves up, and if they pick them gloves up, at least they live to fight another day. The violence in the community, it affects not only us, it affects everyone around us. Every time a mother has to bury their son from gun violence or gang activity, it's kind of heartfelt all over every community. Whether you're hearing about it in North Augusta, New York, but when it's close to home right here in Aiken, it's just a sad situation.
An everyday routine for the kids that go here is that first they must complete all homework. We do exercises like strength and conditioning exercises. We learn the fundamental skills of boxing, and we also have Bible study on Thursday nights.
Next, we visited Second Baptist Church, where we questioned a nationally well-known local, Christopher Emmanuel.
I am the Executive Director for Sky's Limit Foundation, which focuses on educating, empowering, and equipping fathers, families, and professionals on non-marital paternity, rights, and the Responsible Father Registry in relation to adoption. I am the CEO for No Deadbeats Imprint, which is a clothing line, and it's simply the conversation starter for the community, and allows me to be in the space to say, hey, you know, what do you like more in yourself, or what would you like to see more in your community, or, you know, what are some ways we can do to better our community? And last but not least, I am subcontractor between the One Circle Foundation, so I train other agencies and organizations on how to make it integratable and reproducible in their communities. So holistically, I'm just living in my calling and doing God's work. Violence is one of those things in the community that is not the fact that people don't know. I think people aren't paying attention to the cause, because more often than not, it's media program, it's television program.
While understanding Mr. Emmanuel's perception on violence between the youth in Aiken, we got to take a look at the student activities, classrooms, and success that the Teen Center provided. We then spoke to Mrs. Morris about the change we could contribute to while promoting community well-being over violence.
We're working with some of the most outstanding young people in the community, as well as others who are willing to partner with them to really look at how can we make a better, or I should say, an impact that will help those in the community. So even though I'm concerned, I'm hopeful. And I really feel that we're leaving our community in very capable hands of the young people who are coming behind us. One of the things that I do in our community, of course, is I work with the youth through the NAACP Youth Council here in the community, but I'm also involved in other organizations as ACTS, which is Areas Churches Together Serving, where we're looking at our most vulnerable populations in the community and how we can work with those food disparities as it relates to them, but also if they need assistance with rent, if they need assistance with utilities, if they need assistance with making sure that their children can be in affordable but also quality child care. Those are some of the things that I'm involved in the community, because it's important for us to not only just talk about what the issues are, but also for us to get involved and make an impact wherever we are. I'm a huge believer in that we need to bloom where we are planted. So I've been planted here in the Aiken community, and I am going to do all that I possibly can in order for our community to thrive and to grow and to be a better place, not only for me, but also for the generations to come. The last thing I'd like to add, if anything, is that I would like for our young people to continue to connect with their community, share their hearts with our community, and also let those who are making decisions know where those issues are, so we can in turn be able to work on those, not individually but also collectively, to make our society better, because we have to start here first in our community, and then we can go abroad in the state, and then in the nation, and then also the world. So it's important that we work together, and together we are always better.
beautiful day.
Amen.